Hi, welcome back. This is your coach, Yoli, and we will be discussing again on this time about the origin of agriculture. So there are many questions kung saan daw ba nanggaling, paano, and many other questions kung kung ano ba when did agriculture was given birth. So for example, may nagtatanong when did agriculture actually was born and saan? Where was it born? Why? Bakit pinanganak ang agriculture? Or bakit nag-originate ang agriculture? Okay? And another is paano? Okay, so how did agriculture was born? So, sa origins of agriculture, if we answer the question, when? Kailan? Okay? So, agriculture actually started on the surface of this earth around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, according to sa mga documented evidences. Where? Saan ito nagsimula? Okay? So, it was from the different parts. So it arose from different parts of the globe and it was independently. So may mga sabay-sabay, may mga iba-ibang time na nagsimula ang agriculture. It was not simultaneous. Okay? So from the different parts of the earth like the Philippines, mga later siguro nag-start ang agriculture. Sa Africa, mga earlier. And sa Middle East, mga ibang time. So it was independently. It happened in different parts of the globe independently. Why? Bakit pa nangyari or pinanganak ang agriculture? Okay? So, before, it was during the Pangea period, okay? Ang Pangea is, this was a supercontinent that existed during the late Paleozoic and early Mesozoic areas. So, iisa lang ang landmass ng yung landmass sa buong mundo. So, it assembled from earlier continental units approximately around 335 million years ago. And dahil sa mga movements, okay, ng core ng ating Earth, they broke apart around mga 175 million years ago. And from that supercontinent which is called Pangaea, there was now a geologic change, particularly of the ice age that occurs every 25,000 years. At ang documented na last ice age na nangyari sa mundo was roughly around 12,000 to 15,000 years ago. Okay? So how? Kung yun ang mga nangyayari noon sa land masses hanggang sa from the supercontinent, okay? From the Pangaea hanggang sa na divide and after how many million years ago, na-subdivide ulit yung mga medyo malalaking land masses hanggang sa mga continents natin. Na may continent, how many continents do we have? We have 7 continents. I guess mga 9 na yata ang continents natin. I'm not sure now. But what was taught to us when we were kids was there are 7 continents. I'm not sure now. And because of those land masses that were broken down into different small pieces of land masses, marami nang tumubo ng mga weeds. Okay? So many weeds grew. And ngayon, ang mga tao, syempre, they have to find food. So they began to eat some of the edible weeds and even plants. Okay? So doon nagsimula ang ating agriculture. So himayin pa natin itong mga question ng. So there were theories actually on the origins of agriculture. So one theory that some people had claimed, okay, was the theory of gift from the gods and goddesses. So sabi nila, yan ay binigay sa atin ang agriculture, mga animals, mga food binigay sa atin ng god natin na si Viracocha. Yan ang belief ng mga taga-Peru. Okay? At sa Rome naman, nandun si Ceres. Okay, na god nila na nagbigay daw sa kanila ng agriculture. So they were these goddesses and gods were the ones who actually gave birth to agriculture. Sa Greece naman, nandun si Demeter. Sa China, si Shenlong. Okay? And sa Mexico, nandun yung mga gods din nila. And another theory on the origin of agriculture is the theory of religious purposes or sacrifices or rituals. So halimbawa sa India, ang baka, okay, is very holy sa kanila. And they had to domesticate this kasi nga holy. Isa yan sa Diyos nila. So that started agriculture because agriculture composes of plants and animal production. Okay? So, yon, these are the big parts kung paano ang nagsisimula ang agriculture. The animals and plants. Another theory is theory of propinquity, which was proposed by Childe in 1952. And sabi nila this is agriculture started when there was domestication by crowding. Okay, sorry. Ano yung crowding? Saglit ha. Etong theory of rubbish mamaya yan. Dito muna tayo sa theory of propinquity. Sa domestication by crowding, sabi ni Gordon Childe, because of progressive desiccation after the Pleistocene period or Ice Age, okay, which caused the moving of man and plants and even animals sa mga river banks dahil sa tubig, okay? So they were after for water. So there was then an intimate contact of man and plants and animals doon sa riverbank. Ngayon, ang nangyayari, there was an overcrowding so that there was a need to find ways for survival. So ngayon, anong ginawa ng tao? The man now started to select plants or namili na sila ng mga gusto nila na plants and animals for food. Yung mga magaganda, ang quality na plants and foods, they had started to select. Okay? The next theory is we have the theory of rubbish heap or dump heap according to Anderson in 1954. Nauuna ang aking sorry ha, but this theory of rubbish heap or dump heap according to Anderson in 1954 is originally ang tao was a gatherer, okay? Forager siya. So in time, nung nag-start na siyang mag-domesticate, yung mga ginagather niya na mga fruits, okay, or even stems and leaves from the wild, dinadala niya sa settlement niya. And, syempre, yung mga fruits, may seeds ang mga yon. And, syempre, pag yung hindi niya kakainin na part ng mga fruit, yun ay mga seeds. Mga part ng stems or leaves, naiiwan dyan sa kanyang, binabasura niya, rubbish nga eh. So, binabasura niya. And all these are organic. So, yung anumang binabasura niya, yung mga seeds naturally, they have to grow. So, kung nung tumubo yung mga seeds na mga yon sa settlement niya, at namunga ulit, doon niya kinuha yung mga fruit ng kanyang kinakain. So, it was no need for him now to go back to the wild to gather food, okay, because many already grew around his settlement. Okay, so that is the theory of rubbish heap or dump heap. Yung panglima is theory of accidental discovery daw. So with the association of man to plants, man began to identify which plants are possible now to consume. Thus, he gathered the seeds and planted and harvested the produce, and the cycle went on. Okay? Na theory. The theory of stress and resources. Noon, ang tao daw, iisang klase daw ang plant na kinakain niya. Along the years, or along in time, yung plant na yon, it has diminished, nawala na. So, he has to find for other kinds of plants to cultivate. Kaya daw yung time na nagkukultivate na siya, that started now yung agriculture. Okay? So, when there was insufficient resources, it was thus that time that man has to find other source of food from preferred to non-preferred plants. This was according to Flamery in 1965 and even Cohen. Ito ang mga pinopost nila in Cohen in 1977. Okay? Next theory, pampito, is theory of extension of gathering or theory of the extension of gathering. Kasi originally nga, ang tao is a gatherer, so hunting and gathering. So ang tao now cannot find any more food requirements from the wild. Naubos na siguro, okay? So thus he started planting and domesticating plants and even raising animals. So that started daw yung agriculture. And yung pang-8 na theory is no model theory. Wala daw single model na maka-explain ng origin of agriculture in a certain area. So kung yung agriculture ay nag-start sa Middle East, ibang pattern. Pag nag-start ulit ang ang agriculture daw sa China, mga ganon. So yun ang sabi nila, no model theory, no single model can explain the origin of agriculture in a certain area. So the patterns in a particular area may not be the same in another area. Ay sis, kaya nga, pwede naman siguro yun. Okay? Number 9 is the theory of chemical reward. So, meron tayong mga organic compounds that we find in certain plants. So, kapag yun ay useful sa atin, kung ginagamit natin sa gamot or ginagamit natin as vitamins, okay, then we have to maintain and plant that kind of plant. So, for example, itong exorphins, these are chemicals or even nakikita or na-extract sa cereals and some dairy products. So, thus we have to raise yung animal na yon or yung klase ng tanim na yon because we need yung exorphin na yan. Okay? So, ito yung mga theories on origins of agriculture. Maybe there are some, of some origins of agriculture, but these are the early na mga debates o pinag-uusapan ng mga scientists before when they debated paano daw pinanganak si agriculture or paano nangyari at nagkaroon tayo ng agriculture ngayon. Now, I will just give a very brief timeline of the birth of agriculture. You may find some more detailed, of course, na materials to really find out kung paano nagsimula actually ang agriculture. Okay? So, in circa 12,000 before the Common Era, this is BCE, to circa 9,000 before Common Era, this is the Mesolithic or Middle Stone Age. Okay? Ito yung ending of the last Ice Age. So, kung yung last Ice Age during the end parts of the last Ice Age, dito nagsimula actually yung agriculture. So that is why yung mga literature, you will read or you will find there na sabi niya, agriculture started around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, or even sa mga other literature today, you will find 10,000 to 15,000 years ago. Doon nag-start ang agriculture, but lahat ng mga documents, sasabihin niya ay, this is the end of the last ice age. Doon nagsimula ang domestication ng mga plants and animals, thus agriculture started. So, nung 10,000 before Common Era, this was the beginnings of agriculture in the Middle East. And in the next video, okay, that I will be discussing to you is about the evolution of crops. So, dito natin makikita ang ng Middle East, okay, yung mga crops na nanggaling doon. And 9,000 before the Common Era, there's the cultivation of wild cereals in the Fertile Crescent. This is in the Middle East. So, discuss natin ito sa next video natin. And in the circa 9,000 BCE to circa 3,300 BCE, this is the Neolithic period or New Stone Age lasting from the start of agriculture between 9,000 to circa 9,000 to circa 4,000 BCE. Now, in 9,000 before the Common Era, wild sheep flocks were already found to be managed in the Zagros Mountains. Saan ba yung Zagros Mountains na yan? Okay? So, Zagros Mountains, hanapin ninyo. Assignment ninyo yan. Oh, okay. Zagros Mountains are found in some countries in the Middle East. And in 7,000 to 7,700 BCE, nakita nila na yung mga wheats, the first kinds of wheats were already domesticated in the Fertile Crescent. 7,000 BCE to 2000 BCE, this is the archaic period in Mesoamerica during which hunter-gatherer culture moved toward agriculture. So, hanggang sa recent, circa 200 BCE, when there was already a manufacturing of iron. This manufacturing increased at ginagamit ito for weapons for construction ng mga buildings, bridges, and everything, even yung agriculture items, so that ngayon meron na tayong mga tools, steel tools, okay, that we use in agriculture. We have now all our steel shovels, okay, made up of steel, made of iron, tractors, and everything that we use in modern agriculture. Now, let me just give you a prehistoric plant domestication in East Asia. This is just a sample, okay? Parang ito sa next or sa susunod na video natin later on, okay? So sa East Asia, actually East Asia dito is Far East Asia kasi it is composed of China, okay, South Korea, North Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and this belongs to the Far East Asia that we call today. Now, si China, kasi itong napakalaking si China, it is considered as the first origin daw of agriculture in the region, sa Far East Asia. Okay? It is East Asia. Tayo, Southeast Asia ang Pilipinas, nandito sa South part dito. And we do not belong to them kasi they are Far East Asia. Yung mga yellow race. So, China daw is considered as the first origin of agriculture in this Far East Asia, ignoring yung nearby Korea and Japan. As hanggang ngayon, kiniklaim nila, they have, until now, these are current debates, na ang Korea and Japan, they are claiming na sa kanila nanggaling yung pinaka-importante na rice. Okay? Pinaka-importante na plant sa mundo. Kasi around ilan? 80% ba ang kumakain na population or people sa mundo ng rice? And sa China, sabi ng China sa kanila galing daw yung rice, nag-originate ang rice. Pero hindi kiniklaim ng China, kiniklaim ba? Or mga scientists before, they are claiming that because of these evidences, we will designate China as the first origin of rice. And in that region, it is where agriculture actually started. But Korea, until now, they are claiming na sa kanila talaga nanggaling yung rice because there are more evidences now na lumalabas, okay, based on archaeological evidences na unearth nila na remains ng mga rice noon sa kanila. And wala daw nakikitang ganito sa China. So, more evidences are unearthed on the diffusion of crops and even the migration of people. And in 1977, si Ho, okay, in-establish niya ang North China as an independent center of agricultural origin, apart from the other parts of China. Although, minimal nga ang data dito, especially on rice origin. And in Southwest and East Asia, plant domestication occurred sometime before 9,000 years before present. Okay? Now, pag titingnan natin ang agriculture, ano yung mga tao sa part ng agriculture noon, the first early humans. They did not plant and raise animals for food, okay? So they were just plain foragers or hunters and gatherers. So they roamed and gathered fruits, roots, leaves, stems, and they hunted animals from place to place. So once na naubos na yung food sa kanilang place, they find another region of abundance. And there was rich diversity of food and plants and animals noon, nung unang panahon. And even yung soil and vegetation was still rich with nutrients and elements during that time. Kaya maraming bunga ang halaman. And of course, human population was very small. Kaya walang masyadong competition sa pagdating sa food. Then, ang human mandible structure, okay, ng pagnguya was very strong sa mga tao noon. So, they can even chew hard parts of plants and animals. Lalo na very fibrous, okay? Ano naman ang mga tao ngayon, modern humans, in terms of agriculture, okay? So, tingnan natin. Ang tao ngayon, wala nang nag-gather sa wild. Okay? We are not hunters and gatherers. We are not foragers anymore. But what we do is domesticate plants and animals for our food. Hanggang sa ngayon, ang ginagamit natin is vertical farming. So, anong vertical farming? Maybe would be one topic later on sa susunod na mga videos. But to introduce, okay, ang vertical farming today is plants and animals are being raised inside buildings with artificial sunlight. So, hindi naaarawan ang mga plants and animals sa vertical farming. Actually, electricity ang kanilang source of light. Although napapakain sila and nabibigyan sila ng abono yung mga plants na kagaya ng binibigay nating abono dun sa mga field at pinapakain natin sa mga animals like yung mga binibili natin sa mga feed supplies. Pero ang mga ito they are raised sa kulungan talaga inside buildings. They are not free to roam in the field. And they are not free to grow in the field. Okay? So, may timing pa sila. So, kapag 3 months, exacto 3 months, they have to be harvested. Or in case of animals, yung mga chicken, mga 15 days lang or 20 days, they have to be butchered. Okay? So, ganon sa vertical farming. Now, another one is tayo, mga modern humans, have adapted to easy chewing. We consume highly processed foods. Kung minsan nga, hindi na natin nginunguya, linulunok na lang. And food diversity became so narrow ngayon, as well as land for raising crops and animals, kasi wala na tayong lupa, lahat building na. And kung hindi nga building ang nakatayo doon, sira ang land kasi basurahan or whatever, polluted na yung soil. And food diversity, yung source of food natin, iilang species na. Kasi tayo, especially mga bata ngayon, hindi na nila alam kung paano kainin ang mga halaman at prutas noon na kinakain ng sinaunang tao, kagaya ko. Diet now was totally changed from diverse fiber-rich, to highly processed and concentrated sugars and carbohydrates. High carbohydrates in the morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, even meriendas are carbohydrates and concentrated sugars. Human population now is so dense, alam na natin yan. Industrial development has destroyed our lands, our soil, environment for supposedly food sustainability. Wala na, okay? And we live in continuous and rapid climate changes. We now are experiencing global warming, pollution, everything, etc. And as the Earth age, okay, climate is swiftly altered, forcing now many plants species and animal species to extinction. Nawawala na. Okay? Yung mga dating buhay noon, wala. So let me just give a very brief historical perspective on the origins of agriculture. Okay, so we have here a person, Swiss botanist, okay, in 1885 by the name Alphonse de Candolle. Ewan ko, paano ba i-pronounce to? Alphonse de Candolle or Alphonse de Candolle? Okay, so he was the first to recognize and use data from botany, from geography, from archaeology, and even philology. These are sciences to understand yung agricultural origins. So, sino ba naman ang buhay noon, nung unang panahon, okay? Unang thousand millions of years ago, para sabihin na ganyan, ganito. Okay? Ganire ang nangyari kung paano nagsimula ang agriculture. So, there were tools actually, of course, para malaman natin paano nagsimula ang agriculture. And sumunod ito, during the early to mid-20th century, meron tayong Russian botanist. His name is Nikolai Vavilov. So, he followed yung practice ni Candolle. So, he combined information from different sources, including some tools doon sa emerging field during that time, okay? When the field of genetics was emerging, he included some tools in genetics para matrace back saan ba nag-originate ang ating agriculture. So in my next video sa crop evolution, we will be use or doon ko i-discuss yung napakalaking contribution ni Nikolai Vavilov sa part ng agriculture and how plants evolved sa different areas ng ating mundo. So actually, he was the one who proposed the 8 centers of center of crop origin sa buong mundo, okay? With the sub-centers ito. Mga ilang sub-centers para parang, I think it's 12 or 11. Tingnan natin dun sa next. Then, in the 20th century, this is the advent of the science of archaeology where it was used, okay, to help or to aid yung tools and features of architectural evidences. So yung mas nauna yung architectural evidences sa pagte-trace pa kung saan nag-originate ang agriculture and naidagdag yung mga tools, okay, of archaeology. Then, dito sa archaeology, so yung mga charred, yung mga sunog na, parang, and even desiccated remains of early cultivated plants were recovered doon sa mga sites, archaeological sites, and they were studied as direct evidence of animal and plant domestication in the plant and domestication processes. Okay, and after World War II, scholars still search evidences of the origin of agriculture in the Near East. Malaki dapat yung E sa East, so Near East or the Fertile Crescent in Mexico using both yung approaches nila Candolle and Vavilov. So doon nila na confirm na talagang doon sa Near East and Mexico, maraming crops na nag-evolve doon or nag-originate doon. Malalaman natin ito sa susunod na mga videos natin. So, huwag niyong kalimutan na mag-subscribe, and like, and watch the whole video para makita ninyo yung kabuuan, yung mga steps, kahit bits and pieces ito, but you will understand ang wholeness of agriculture. Okay. Please do not forget to subscribe. Then, we have one tool which is Paleo ethnobotany. Ito yung ginagamit din doon sa archaeology. Okay? So this is scientific investigation sa relationship ng man and plant noong unang panahon, okay? During the early era. So tingnan natin ang mga ito. Ito yung mga seeds actually that were unearthed from excavations doon sa mga sites, okay? And parang buto ito ng corn. I do not know if this is corn or whatever, but these are seeds. And paleoethnobotany also studies preserved remains of plants in archaeological sites and its surrounding landscape areas. So hindi lang doon sa mismong digging site. It also studies yung mga plants that that have grown doon sa nearby areas, sa landscape areas. It also includes studies in both macro and microscopic remains of plants in order to understand the roles of plants in human diet and how human activities influenced plant populations through time. Okay, so that is paleoethnobotany. So this is all, and thank you very much for watching. And please, I just would want you to please like and subscribe. Okay? Sa susunod ulit na video, thank you very much.